Oh, you count the rest.
Wow. Okay, welcome all to the August 3rd meeting of the Dudley Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Got two sets of minutes. Now that we got a full board. July 6th and July 20th.
Interesting meeting.
Start with July 6th.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to accept the meeting, July 6th meeting minutes.
The motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
No, I didn't vote, sorry.
Huh?
I didn't vote, I wasn't here.
Oh, okay, July 6th, okay.
We have the same.
So it's
20th.
4-1. 4-2. 3-2. Okay, there we go. Must be that new math. Okay, July 20th. Okay, motion's been made.
Second.
Motion is seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I abstained, Mr. Chairman, I wasn't here.
Okay.
At a baseball game.
Okay, 4-0-1. Those are accepted. Okay. And the next one, reorganization. What's the board's pleasure?
If nobody else wants it, it's Saturday, Senate. If somebody else wants it, I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me.
You want to switch day, or you want? Doesn't matter to me.
So how do you feel? I know last time you said that was...
Well, yeah, I mean, things have evened out. I mean, I'll like I said, we had a conversation earlier. I'll continue to do it. If somebody else wants it, I'll gladly step aside. So, either way.
I'm good with that. Said I'm good with it.
I'm good with it. Yeah. Yeah, I think things are leveling off, the workload get a little
Yeah,
easier,
I mean, it's
you know?
okay. All right, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? I have 4 with an abstention. We need a vice chair. Who do we want for a vice chair?
Want a vice chair?
It's fine.
I don't want it, I'm too busy. You want it? Yeah? Yeah. Make a motion. Okay, I recommend Bob.
Okay, motions for Bob Sullivan as vice chair.
No.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. And clerk, right? We need a clerk. Well, there's 3 of you left.
Bill?
Not really much to it.
I've been doing such an outstanding job.
Make a motion to elect
I have no idea what.
Bill Conley for clerk.
I don't think there's a big workload with it, huh?
No.
A lot more money, though.
Okay, motion's been made for Bill Connolly, clerk. Any, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay.
Any stipend that goes with that, you go to gym.
Yeah,
You did,
Yeah.
you got a new badge.
Yeah,
yeah.
because you know how you handle that. Hey, Jen?
Okay, 86 West Main Street, we've got a bill dispute. There is no one here for it. The history is here, or what we have of a history. Was he aware that he needed to come to the meeting?
Yes,
Okay. And he knew it was at 6:30?
yes.
Okay. But there's the history, and it's there, and I guess, what was the story there?
He was out of the country and came home, and there had been a leak, and that's why the bill was so high.
Where was the water and where did it go? Because, I mean,
I
the
know.
sewer rate is based on the water rate. And if it didn't go into the sewer,
But if the toilet was leaking.
Yeah,
if it went into
I
the sewer. then
thought it was something in the basement, but I wouldn't,
We'll have to
we've
wait.
had a lot of leaks.
Can we table this?
We'll have to check, without having them here, there's no one here to advocate
Did we
for
send
him.
anybody out there to look? To go into the house?
I know Luke had, because Luke and I found this prior. It was on the last, when we were doing the readings in May. It came up extremely high, and so we knew that there was a problem.
I mean, even if there's like a pinhole in the water pipe spraying on the floor, the basement would be a moldy mess.
Right. 'Cause Luke tagged the outside of the house that, please contact us, because there was nobody there. We had no telephone number or anything for this person at the time. So he tagged, and then that's how he ended up calling into us. And he said, yes, there was a leak.
Okay, well, so we don't know, we haven't talked to him, he's not here to advocate, so unless he shows up
Take them on.
before the end of the meeting, we'll hold it till next month. 27 Lawrence Road, permission to tie into sewer. Has anybody looked into that one?
That's an easy, that's a lateral that's right there, so Mike has already checked that out.
You checked it out, the property owner's not here,
Yes,
but,
they can't do anything about it right now anyway, but it's a lateral.
so
They
what,
left out for it when they went down the road, when they did the
what, do they have
sewers?
septic?
They have septic down that road. There's a
Isn't that
station on there.
Isn't that the road that we had to, years ago, run a sewer line down because of, a water line down because of
No, sewer
failed
line.
wells?
Sewer line was the reason why, but not, we had no water line down there.
Oh, there was a...
Not Lawrence Road.
Okay, all right. Oh, Lawrence Road is down off of
Sawmill.
off of Sawmill, okay, never mind. I'm thinking of a different road. Okay, again, he's not here to advocate for it, so we'll hold on that. 35 Chase Ave, have we heard anything?
He's waiting for a response back from Webster in writing,
Oh, about the sewer
Yep.
issues, okay.
so. That's where we're at.
Oh,
What'd you bring up last meeting about the volume?
I don't, what's 35 Chase, that
that's the mill,
mill?
Is he aware of that?
factory.
The,
Are you saying because it's so much, they have to,
Pre-treat.
oh, yeah, because,
The chemical, the fertilizers.
no, well, what it is when you exceed 25,000 gallons a day, it triggers pre-treatment program for the town. So we'd have to look at pre-treatment for the wastewater. You'd have to have a program in place. And it triggers a DEP sewer extension permit.
Does that trigger for us or for the treatment side of it?
I would assume it's us because we run the collection system here.
Yeah, okay, all right. Because we don't test anything, so it's like,
Right.
it
How would
sounds
we
like
test
they
it?
have to start.
Right.
yeah,
So
this'll start it, I guess this'll start that.
Then we're looking at an added fee for us to do that.
right, it's a lot more work for the town, so there's added things that George or the sewer guys will have to do. Like I said, it triggers pre-treatment, so they could potentially have to put a pre-treatment system in,
On your property.
yeah.
I think this is the
Right.
gentleman.
Nope. This looks like it may
Looks like the
be,
bill,
this may be
86 West Main.
86 West Main. Water sewer?
Yeah, I'm
Sorry?
Water sewer meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it here.
You can have a seat right over there.
Okay, so yeah, so it triggers, all right, that's, we'll have to get
Do you require an
some
operator?
DEP.
Plant operator or?
They would have to have somebody to, it depends on what level of treatment they'd have to put in.
And DEP will tell you?
It's part of the whole thing with the pre-treatment program, so it would trigger us to put in place a pre-treatment program, and then it would kind of be dictated by that program as to what level and what reduction you need and whatever.
That's
You know,
going
if
into the main
They
trunk
might have
line.
to be nutrient removal, could be pH adjustment, you don't know.
This is a blank check right now.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, so
what
we'll
that's-
have to check with DEP.
There's a lot involved. I'm gonna assume you don't know how to put a pre-treatment program in place, so I would think that it would probably be something you're gonna have to have the engineers look at and potentially develop. So, you know, I would think that the applicant would have to bear that cost. I don't know why the ratepayers would wanna
No.
pay
Okay,
that fee, so.
okay, so we'll have to check with, get some information on what that will entail.
6-inch transite in the neighborhood and
Okay, you're from 86 West Main Street?
Yes.
Okay, was there anything else with that? I mean, we haven't heard from them, so it's just basically
yeah.
on hold. Okay, we can go back to number 6, 86 West Main Street. Did you sign in on the piece of paper, on the paper there? Just so we have your name and information for our bills, for our records.
So, the meeting minutes.
Okay, so you're here to dispute your water bill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what happened here? It looks like in the month of, in the quarter ending May 10th, you had significant use. So what happened?
Sir, actually, so there was nobody in the house, and my family was out back in the country, and I living, sir, because family issue. I just got separate. I was living in a Marlboro, and I drive truck. Most I go over the road, stay many day out, right? And so what happened? So even I didn't realize when was happen, what was happen in the house, right? And when I get back getting the bill, right? Then I went to the house when in April, and turned off the heat because I leave it on heat, so don't something happen
Yep.
because of the cooling.
Right.
And because my family, like I said, was not here, they was in India. And so what happened then, I realized that, like, because I say I did not receive a bill, right? I know every couple 3 months I have to pay that bill.
Right.
And I come in here to get the bill. When I get the bill, and I realize that, like, there is like 7,000 bill.
Okay.
And I asked them, well, like, this is too much, you know? And the last time I only pay, I think is even 100 or 300.
Okay, so was there a leak in the house?
Yeah, there was leaking. Then I went to the house, right? I went to the basement, everywhere, right? And then what I see, sir, there is everything is messed up. Then I realize even the kitchen, the floor was unequal, and the heating was there in the water. Like water was so many, I can realize there was so much water in the basement, but it was dried when I was there after getting the bill from here, because that was too late, you know, because I get a bill, this one, I think in April, I believe so. Yeah, in April I come here. And then I went to the house, right? Again, then, because until that one was everything dry, but we can see like there was a lot of water, because a lot of stuff, everything in the basement was damaged. And I can
Okay, so
see.
your basement was full of water.
Yes, and I can see like they are in ceilings, all like backs, AC, everything. Like I can see there is a damage level. The water who is like damaged everything.
Okay.
And so, sir, so then I same time I request them, you know, to please like when I call, even I email to them, because first I try to ask by the email, because no one was here to find out when did was happen, right? Because I was, see, this is a lot of money, right? Then because I call the one of the guy for the heating, because I had a plan to replace that heat, right? Like converting from oil to gas. And one of the guy, he came for the estimate, he see that, right? And he said, your house, I can take care of it because it's too much. Some people need to be fixed up, lot of stuff in your house first. You know, find out what is happened, why the water was leaking, and from where is it? Because he was not a water expert.
So did you shut the water off? How did you shut the water
Sir,
off?
I didn't, because the city did it. When I talked to her, because she...
Luke turned it off.
Oh, it shut off at the curb?
Because
okay.
we tagged it and.
Oh, so he shut it off at that point?
It
Because
was
they
after.
said they was going to for reading something, they realized that there was nobody in the house, and they said they like tag something, notice on the door, so we can see that, you know. And sir, so after that I tried to call to the insurance, you know, because one of my friends said like insurance should cover like your home and damage, all that from that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I try to reach to them, you know, and they're trying to find the excuses. I say, because I just hired the insurance because you can protect me, you know. And they said, what happened? I explained them everything, and they're telling, why you are telling us like so late, you know. I said, because I didn't know that nobody was in the house, and I found it in April. And I found out when the city one did happen, they realized in May when they was in the house for the reading that. And I don't know until now, like what happened, but I have so much cost to get repaired that my second floor ceiling all damaged, my kitchen damaged, basement damaged, all the personal stuff as well.
Yep.
And you should help me, you know. And I explained them also my bill, you know. I send them, I say, look at the bill, you know. And they said, we know we're not cover your bill, of course, you know. I said, that's fine, but I will at least you take care of my house, you know, because insurance like mean that, you know.
Okay.
And they said, no, we don't care, we don't cover with the like water, you know, something like that. We have to find out. The insurances keep coming. They're just trying to find the way to decline me, you know. They went to my house in 3 times, and because one in the adjuster 2 times come in my house, heating expert in the house, right? And that they want to be plumber on my house, you know. I say just I need to, because my family even already here, I say living in the separate. And, you know, paying for them, even I'm taking care of my sister to them, you know. And there is an empty house.
Okay. So it's been a long-standing policy of the board, and I personally have been impacted by it. A number of years ago, I had a leaky toilet that cost me significant money. If it goes through the meter, it has to be paid for.
Sir,
Now, that's for the water. It went into the house. You didn't. How did is the water still in the basement?
No, sir, it was dried. It was just only like I say, just had a, you can see there was water, but was dry, like there was no water.
Do you have a sump or anything in the basement?
I have, when I bought it, it was, what we call like,
A drain?
Humidifier?
yeah, medication, something, yeah, in the house.
You have
That is
a
there.
sump pump. So those little
think
pump,
Yes, I think
Yeah,
we
much
could,
humidifier.
no sump pump.
dehumidifier would be toast if it was underwater.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh, yeah, it would have gotten covered with water and it would have been junk anyways, it's electric.
Do you know what broke upstairs? A heating pipe
Well, we
or
haven't
a
turned the water back on,
water
right?
pipe?
No.
So he's not.
Sir, first I thought like definitely is my mistake is a heating pipe because maybe I did not aware about the oil. So when I realized that their oil tank was in a half, and the,
But it wasn't, it was
heat.
past freezing weather, so you couldn't have had a freeze up.
no, because in April,
Well, the question is, did a pipe break under the sink?
So we have,
yes, something like
I
that.
think a
On the,
water pipe broke under the sink.
we haven't turned the water back on, so
Hey,
they don't
nobody
know,
knows.
right?
There's no way of
You
knowing.
can't see anything visually when you open the cabinet doors or anything?
no, nothing. Yeah,
Can't see
something like under the floor or up the or ceiling of the basement, something like that.
Do you have a drain in the basement?
Drain?
Yeah, a hole in that the water could have gone down?
No, I don't believe so. I have only in the mitigation that I believe, yeah,
Is the basement finished, or is it just an
unfinished.
unfinished basement, so there's no bathroom or anything like that down there? So there's probably nothing down there unless maybe a sump pump.
What were you talking about in mitigation?
Mitigations like, people have, like on the basement, we have a bad gas come up.
Oh, radon?
Radon,
Yeah,
okay.
radon, yeah, that.
So yeah, if they didn't seal around the radon pipe, I guess it could drain down through that.
But that's not gonna go into the,
Let me go into the sewer.
Like on the sewer? Doesn't sound like a window.
so, I
Yeah,
mean,
like I said, it sounds like nothing went down the sewer, but obviously the water went through the meter.
oh,
So what's the,
The policy,
Start off with
Chairman was
2078.
stating is, if it goes through the water
What's the
meter,
due?
it has to
So,
get paid for.
This is just for this.
Whether
Sewer
you used it or it was a leak,
was
it did not go down the sewer,
18,000.
so we don't have to bill you for the sewer part of the bill.
That's what,
We take you as your word that it didn't go down the sewer. If it went down the sewer, then we would have to pay to treat that, and that costs money.
so that's what.
Sir, I totally understand, sir. I'm on.
But-
So your bill is in two parts,
how
your
much it
water
was
bill
for this
and
quarter.
your sewer bill.
but he also has a
It's,
normal sewer
I-
use.
Right.
This,
So
it's $5,090 for the water, and then sewer is almost $2,000.
only,
yeah, there's, for that period, it was 1856 plus.
Okay.
Then there's 103 in interest. I mean, we can
Yeah.
lump that into,
Can you figure out what the bill would be without the? Mr. Getman?
it would be, be $5,013,
5,013, yeah, wait,
right there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Guess what, everyone?
the sewer is 1856. Yeah,
I guess what we're trying to say is, it costs us money to produce the water and treat it and send it out. And if it goes through the meter, the consumer is always ultimately responsible to pay for that water. But in this case, I think what we're saying is you could waive the sewer because it didn't go down the pipe to be treated at the treatment plant and went into the ground. So it comes out to instead of $7,233 and change, we're talking $5,013,
16, 19,
right? Waive the sewer.
5, 6, 5, 6, 8.
Costs us a lot of money to distribute water with the chemicals, the pumping system.
So, yeah, the sewer usage is 1856.74. There is an interest in there is interest added in there. I think we can waive that too. We can't waive the water bill though.
Right.
Just because of the,
The sewer interest was from a previous balance.
oh, was
I
it?
was gonna
As
say,
well.
what is
Oh.
the total balance? Is that include some balance from?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so yeah,
From the previous quarter?
Yes. So there's a
But-
previous balance.
okay, all right.
Is that just the 426?
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
I recommend that we waive the sewer uses. Hey,
Okay,
Second that.
motion made, seconded, any discussion?
Would you just
I
give
would think you
these?
need to give an exact dollar amount to waive.
Okay,
5,013.
no, that's 1,000. The sewer amount is $1,856.74.
Yo, that's right, yeah. Sewer,
Calculate that out, the number.
1,856.
Calculate the bill.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, because the majority of that interest is off of the bill.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
the
it
interest,
only had
just
12.
because of the delay in getting in here and all of that.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so it was
We
only.
could waive that if
It
we
was only
wanted.
$4.26 that was on the past due amount.
Yeah. Oh, I see that, yeah.
Yeah. So how about the 513 and then the $4?
The,
So that's like $99.
30, okay, yeah. So 185,674. And what interest amount were you talking?
Just for the sewer interest?
Yeah,
So,
Well, the sewer interest was $6.34.
that's from the previous quarter.
First,
That's
and you
from
got
the
another
previous
sewer
quarter.
interest.
Okay, that's off of the
Yeah.
so it's,
38.
38.
well, because he disputed his bill, the water interest also accumulated.
That's right, yeah. So what I did is I added the 1,800, the 38, and the 103, and I got 1,889.
Yeah,
That's 1989. Messed up my numbers. 1856. No, that's not right. That's not right. Why am I doing it
I don't know.
by hand?
I think Bob got yours on.
I was, but then he said he added all the numbers, so I said, all right, that's what I
What's
was
the
at.
$20 demand, Jen?
That's something that,
That means
Downstairs.
that
So
he
again,
didn't.
was there, well, you have to issue a demand.
Yes.
yes.
That's,
The bill was, the $20 demand was on the previous,
Before.
before it even happened.
so I came up with $1,999.04.
1999 and 4?
Off the total.
1999.04,
Off the total bill,
correct.
Right.
which is a new number of,
the total, dude.
199904. That would be 81. 13.4. 12.3. 11.2.
coming up with the same one.
6.1. 5.23481.
So you made the motion, you need to amend your motion to
to-
include the dollar amount.
Amend the, actually, I think Bob,
Bob,
Okay.
Joe did, Joe did.
I make a motion to waive 199904.
Okay.
a new bill of 5234.
No,
Five-
No.
don't,
Yeah, no, that's,
Just waive
yeah,
that
that'll,
amount.
just,
okay.
that will,
We'll waive the amount,
Yeah.
yeah. Because of the
Yep.
previous months and all that stuff, it's just gonna get
right.
convoluted, yep. Okay, so a motion's been made to waive $1,999.04
No,
from that bill.
1,994. You said 9.
Oh, 94.
No, it was 99.
99, I thought it was
1999.
199904. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, so what we've done is we've, because it didn't go into the sewer, so there's no sewer fees, we waived that part of the bill. So that amounts to just a little bit less than $2,000. Okay? $1,999.04.
What we took off the bill.
That's what we took off the bill.
Sir,
Okay.
if something you can help a little bit in the water, please.
The rest of it is, we can't, it's been a long-standing policy, and we haven't waived from it. If we waive from one person, then we end up, you know, it's the same for everyone.
We went down by-
But as far as, what's that?
Make payments.
Yeah, you can make arrangements to make payments downstairs with the collector. We can,
I can't recommend or anything.
we can't do,
That's
we
all
can't
him.
do, we can't do anything with that because it's all, the collection the policies of fee collection are downstairs.
At the treasurer
At the
collector
treasurer
office.
collector's office. You can stop in and talk to them. We'll send them a letter with our,
Revised bill.
with our actions tonight. As far as getting the plumbing fixed, you can reach out to the water superintendent to maybe we can make arrangements to turn the water back on to find out where the leak is. And then from there, you can get it fixed.
You'd have to have a
Reach out to the
plumber
office.
present.
Reach out to the office. You reach out to the water office, and they can schedule someone to come down, turn the water on to figure out where the leak is, and then you'll have to hire a plumber to fix it.
You're telling us your insurance company hasn't helped you out by sending a cleaning service in there for the mold and the moisture, to start removing the moisture and the mold from the building?
Yeah, what,
You saying because
can't
of
get
the
into that.
moisture in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is still there because the water was too much, and there all was a lackish, like a bag cloth was in there. So they can see this heat, everything. They took the picture even like, I'm sorry, maybe.
Just advising you, it's a situation of mold growth now with this heat and that moisture. It's not a good environment to be in.
Yeah, sir, because the thing is, I honestly like,
Anything
Just passing it on,
the next office over can help
yeah,
with?
you know?
No.
Just letting you know.
I don't know, just for advice.
unless you've got flood insurance, they're gonna fight the first time you have
Yeah.
any kind of water break.
But it wasn't a flood, it was,
I know,
But
it's
they-
a water break.
right.
But it's assumed to be a flood until they properly investigate it and then declare it as a leak.
Right.
So their first answer to you is, you don't have flood insurance. You don't have coverage.
So you have to
Like,
find out where the leak
They're
is, and
like
then,
making a very stupid excuse. They're saying your house is very old. Your thing. I say, sir, please. Like when I have insurance, you knew that what year is my house, and even I say if you go to the downtown somewhere, there is a house more than 1900 a year, and my house is in 1951. And you are making excuse. My house is old. That's why it's my.
one's not that old.
And this does not make a sense. I said like you guys can refuse me that insurance. So because you knew that what my house was condition, and now you are like totally insulting my house. I had old. That's why this has happened. And that's I say it was working. I bought last year and everything was working condition. I bought it. And there is shouldn't we say that like this is old, like even more 18 year, even I see the house, like people are living in there.
Okay, I don't even know who to,
I would contact a lawyer, but
That's about the best advice. Consult with a lawyer.
yeah.
Should.
the insurance should cover it.
They should, yes. But if you reach out to our office during the day, maybe we can help you find out where the leak is anyways. And then from there, you'll have to take it up with your insurance company, and, once you determine where the leak is, maybe then they'll determine that it's a leak and not a flood.
Like,
Okay.
you think like somebody can help me like to find out the leaking, like from, I can
Yeah,
get help?
if you contact our office during the day, they'll be able to, maybe one of the guys can get down and, that sound all right, George?
You can turn the water on.
They can turn the water on, you can find out where it's leaking, then they
You'll
can
hear
shut it
and
back
see where
off
the
again.
water's coming from quickly.
See where the water is, and then you can shut it all back off again, and then you have to get somebody in there to fix it.
Okay, so like someone expert can, like you are sending with me in the house, and that person will tell me?
No.
Oh, I have to find out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically, it's not our responsibility to find a leak in
No,
the
it's
house,
just,
so.
I'm just
But
sorry.
we can turn the water on. I would recommend having a plumber there with you
Okay,
Yes.
so that the plumber can identify what the problem is.
Because then you're gonna wanna turn the water off.
Right.
Yeah, once you find it.
If you want to contact a plumber and have them call the office, I can explain to them
Okay.
everything and set it up with them. Absolutely.
okay.
Okay.
And sir, I just have a last request. I understand your decision, whatever, you know. So I just request, please, like, you can like give me like installment payment, because only that way I can make payment this.
Okay, yeah, that, all collection of any money in Dudley is all done through the treasurer collector's office, which is on the second floor of this building. You'd have to, you can take it up with them. They can set something up for you for, they've done it with others. They've done it with others in the past. They'll do it with you, but you have to talk to them about making arrangements to pay it in installments. Okay?
Okay, sir. And thank you so much, sir. again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with you.
Okay, good luck.
You want to give them the number for the collector?
Once I deal with this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We should have business cards or something here at the meeting to hand with the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell your partner. I just want sure on a job like that, the guys are wanting to.
The Bill's got all the good stuff down there.
You're welcome.
Oh, he's got a bunch of them.
I'm gonna tell you about insurance.
Okay, well, we can take that up after the meeting. Okay. Stay on
Track.
while we're recording. Okay, so that's that. Dresser Hill Water Storage Treatment Project. Okay, I know we got I believe it's in here.
No, that's the report on the tank. Why do we have Dresser Hill? Because we know it's coming up
Yeah.
this
George-
fall.
There was that's what it was. There was an email that we got last week concerning delay. There was a request to delay the Dresser Hill tank,
Oh.
part of the project, by a month. And I think that's all been worked out now, hasn't it, George? So we can bypass that. That's no longer a concern. Nichols College Center Road addition of water and/or sewer. Got a number of emails from a concerned citizen concerning the new townhouses at Nichols College tie-in. The first one came through and asked if, actually, you've got it all. Okay, yeah, you've got the whole history here.
Was it from a concerned citizen, or is it from a planning board member? Because it says he's,
Actually, it was a planning board member. Okay, yeah, that's, okay. He was elected at that point.
I just don't know what
What
role he was addressing this with you under.
Yeah, I mean, he asked what, if neighboring properties would be able to tie into water and sewer when these townhouses get tied in. And I just quickly explained to him that that's merely going to be an extension of lines that's already on Nichols College property, and they will be the property of Nichols College when they're completed.
My question, Mr. Chairman, is when anywhere else in town, somebody wants to put in a sewer line, that's not in front of the house, we have them extend it
Yeah, well-
to the outside property of the house.
Right, to the end of their property.
well,
Are we asking Nichols to do the same?
okay,
Well,
no, because,
They're not on a road.
so I have a couple comments. One, it's on their property, so it's already going by their property, right? So they're just extending on their property, so
No.
are they extending down the road?
Lot N goes up their left side towards Kuppenheimer Hall, all the way to the top of the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Right.
There's a water main that goes up that road to the hydrant at the end of that. So all they're gonna do is take that end of that main, jet it across the parking lot to this facility they wanna build. And they'll run their sewer the same way, but going to the backside to their, connecting to their sewer. It's all their property there. So it's not,
Right, so it's all within
It's
their
not on town-
property.
it's
They're
not on
not,
their
they're
property.
not extending the sewer down the road.
no.
they're extending their own mains to cover more buildings on their property.
On their property.
I guess it would be the same as if you ran water from your house over to your garage. That's your property, do it, you know, but
I think the bigger concern is why is the planning board asking who can tie in? I mean, typically, if someone wants to tie in, they come to the board and request.
my response is on the top of the back page of this, it's in the packet.
Can't get any clearer than that.
And I ended it with that resident can certainly contact water sewer office, and it can be explained to them. So, and that's the way I left it. And then he sent another letter and included some personal stuff, personal questions about his neighborhood. And at that point, I stopped responding, simply because that's something to be dealt with here, as I see it. If we extend in that neighborhood, it will certainly, I mean, that, and I'm not familiar with the system he mentions.
Yeah, we'd have to see the layout.
Poet says, I don't know what a poet system is. I have no clue. But that's something that's being handled by someone else in town, so until it comes to us, we start getting into, well, he said, he said, she said,
Yep.
and that, I just don't want to get involved in that.
Just the facts.
So-
They're gonna get connection fees and all that, right?
What's that?
Nichols will give.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we agreed to that last month. They came to us last month and presented it to us, and they'll pay all the connection fees and everything else. But that's...
The POET thing is point of entry treatment.
Oh, okay.
Individual treatment units within their house.
Okay, yeah, well, that's...
Yeah, some of those are town water, and some of them are wells down in that neighborhood.
None of them are town water in that neighborhood.
This is the,
I think Joseph Street. Is it
Well,
Joseph Street?
this is a different,
That's outside of,
It's outside the realm.
that's the far end of far end of the neighborhood, and so was, the lines on Fairview, they end at that development. So, so that's something to be dealt with
yeah.
in a meeting,
That's not really,
environment.
that's really not up to us either. That's.
No, it's not.
When they find the responsible party, they'll figure out what's the most cost-effective way to handle
Right.
it.
So that's more for, to let everybody know that went on, and that's the history of what happened. When it was, I CC'd it came to me and Super Sewer Water. We're gonna get him a cape. But at that point, I CC'd in the office to get it, being tracked that way. In any case, Webster True Up, we haven't heard anything. So that's been handed to Webster. We're waiting on Actually, Webster did, we got them their electronic copies. We're waiting on questions back from them. Or,
Did we add in the numbers?
yes.
We did get those numbers.
Those numbers were added in. Those were forwarded to Mr. Brinkman, and Mr. Brinkman did add them in.
Last time we met.
Yeah, I don't know if I figured out what the end number ended up being after adding those in.
Indirect costs, still haven't heard anything.
No, we have to set up a
We
meeting.
need to set up that meeting. Either that or make a public records request. You can do it either way. But probably set up a meeting. I know for me, work is mellowing out considerably. But we should be able to get that. That's more of a placeholder in there to keep it on the agenda. The middle school tank. George?
Well, we know it's both for domestic and sprinkler, but right now we haven't approached Mark Andre yet due to problems we've been having on other things. So we've been going to set up something with him to get records and find out what exactly is going on with that tank, who services it, when it's serviced. He's not very. I know he's not that familiar with it. After going there a couple of years back and helping him drain it down because they had an issue with it, but since then, I haven't really kept abreast of what they do to maintain. It's even on a cross connection point of view too.
So this tank then is basically to provide water pressure for the school?
Supplemental water. It's supplemental tank for because the area up there is weak as far as fire flows go. They had that tank there in case something happened in that school. You could tap into that water for that. That's primarily what it was for. Domestic is not.
But their domestic is going through that?
I believe you, that is the way it
It'd have
was
to be a
explained to
booster
us.
pump somewhere, if that's just a
That's what I
storage
said.
tank.
They'd have
is
to
there
have a
a pump
booster
system
pump or it doesn't.
somewhere?
There is a booster station right next to it.
Building?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Right next to that tank.
So you think your main goes into the tank, through the tank, and out into the system?
Yeah, or it comes into their system. It stops in their system right there, whatever they use. So either they drain it. It doesn't come back to our system.
But sure, there's never been any service been done on it.
One service was done. They drained it all out and cleaned it.
Well, that was, remember,
5-6 years ago.
I think a couple of years ago, when we started reading about it, like in my trade magazines with COVID, with the schools empty, get
Oh,
up there
yeah.
and flush
You gotta
the water.
flush, yeah.
Start flushing, you know?
That's
Yeah,
what
we
I
had
was gonna
already-
say. I'd be concerned that water could be 6 months old.
Yeah.
when
We
they
told
start
them
up
to flush
school.
that. I told them way back then to start flushing the school, all to run all the water every day.
That's got to be,
But it's private property.
but it's still on our,
Yeah, we're still responsible
Yeah,
for
you
the
still
water.
own it, but, I mean, don't you think like a company could go in there and
But,
be aware what that tank needs, or?
yeah,
service it?
well, they could have someone come in and service it, but we need to know,
what the water quality is
that-
coming out of it.
is that tank atmospheric and they're using it for volume and then it goes from the tank to the pump, or is it the pump coming off
For
of,
volume, I believe it's for volume.
it could be a hydropneumatic tank and they're pressurizing the tank with the pump. And that
I
would,
think it's volume. I think it's
That's like a
volume.
steel tank, like maybe 50 or 100,000 gallon tank, so I don't think it's a ladder in it or anything.
you don't have
200
to use a bladder for a hydropneumatic. You can have an air pressure.
Pocket and make a pressure with that. The 250, somewhere in that range,
That big?
somewhere in there.
Okay. We need more information on
Yeah,
it.
that's.
Back on that, George?
Oh yeah, it's just as soon as I can
list.
catch a minute, I'll go see him about that.
Okay. Superintendent's report. I don't remember seeing it.
Unfortunately, it wasn't in your packets. I had everything ready to go, and then we got into a bunch of emergency problems. So I do have the notes from it that I was able to get. So I'll just run through them real quick, and I'll give the report to her to type up for you'll have it at least in your folders.
Okay.
The big thing is going to be the Bates tank. We've had numerous issues with that situation up there. I got to tell you, I'm not very happy, but here's the way it's going to go right now as far as what we can see. After cameraing, digging, checking, probing, because of the water issues that tank is representing, to give you an example, the hole we dug the other day, which we covered up and plated so we can get back down to the pipe, the sump pump we had in place shut down for the night, and that hole filled up and backed up into the tank itself through the overflow pipe area, which is the one they have to fix now, okay? So after getting on discussion with the engineers, DN Tank, myself, we've come up with an idea we think is going to hopefully work. DEP is also getting very concerned with cross connections and tanks and that's kind of a perfect example of it in there. So I'll try to paint this picture as best I can. We come up the pipe that we cambered. We were lucky enough to be able to get this thing up, this 6-inch pipe, clay pipe, under the tank where the overflow that they need to work on comes down. They sent a probe down and we met it with the camera. I call this a chasm. This might be some kind of air gap chasm. So in this chasm, there were branches that looked like went off. And they still, to this, even with the camera they put back in there through the overflow, they couldn't confirm it, but it looks like there might have been some branch offs that went down on the sides and are now buried and gone down in the 8 feet down, or whatever, like the one we have in the front. So I says, what are we going to do here with this? Because anything we do and put a candy cane down there is going to back up again once it reaches a certain level and keep having the same problem we've had before. And then there's definitely talk in the community on the side that there's been water in the backyards, and now it's clear, it's dry. So I'm concerned with that. So the game plan right now, and I'll make this simple, but the game plan right now is to bore a hole in the side of the tank, in the front side of the tank, and make a pipe come out and then into an open air atmosphere splash over, and make a swale type thing with trap rock for it to catch it down in the area where we have near our main, but in our area, in our front area, not on the sides, right in the front. Seal everything else up, including the pipe that we were working on. Dig it back up, make sure we dig it up and seal the bottom of that. They'll seal the top. They'll send material right through the floorable fill, whatever, through the whole overflow, and then fill the whole chasm underneath with that, okay? Which I'm for, because at this point, we're just throwing rocks at walls. Nobody knows 100% what went on under there when they did that, and there's no way to really get an idea. And I suggested maybe boring a hole in the bottom, sending somebody down in there, but they want to try this idea and they think it's going to work. And I brought up the point of the open air. I said, I want to at least have an open air situation so that it's dispelling higher up and able to go out and not go underground and back up again. I don't want that happening. And they thought that was a good idea. So the issue comes into play. I've talked to John Andalevich at Ramco, and tomorrow I'm going to be taking the machine up there, see if I can get it up close enough to the top to come, and we've already hand dug it to a point to see where we can make this trench from the top down to about halfway, say. It's going to be hydraulically done through the engineers. See if we can make keep near the tank and dig down halfway, exposing the tank side. They'll bore the hole through and put the pipe out to a certain point, or either they'll angle it down for a while under the surface, or come right out directly in the mid-surface, however they want to design, how their design is, they'll screen it and everything else. It's safe, it's good, the DP would like it. There's always
Will like it or won't like it?
They will like it.
Okay.
And there's always a few unknowns as far as, what happens to some trapped water in there. We feel it's going to go down eventually and work its way somewhere down the bottom again, but as long as it's in the front, I could care less. I just don't want it going off and going on a wild chase, trying to get down the fields. So tomorrow we're going to do that. John Andalevich is looking to see if he's got a long-armed machine that can maybe get up there with a large excavator and get it. So if I can't, he's gonna look into that. But his stuff's tied up too, and we're on a time schedule and that. But I says this problem has to be rectified, or all is going to start happening again. So that was agreed upon. Everybody, they seem to all like the idea, and that's where we're going to go with right now. We spent a lot of time and money and effort to figure this whole thing out, and we got to a point where we think we know the best route, and this is the best route to take right now.
I had a conversation with
Jeff.
Time Bond, yes, with Jeff this afternoon on my way home from work, and he said that they should have an engineered plan in the next day. He said 1 to 2 days. So they're on it to get it drawn up properly. So that-
Unfortunately, we were gonna be back online, we were gonna be backfilled by the 4th, and then the 11th was gonna be the everything back to, but.
Sorry, before you build this, so you gotta run it by DEP with plans, or are they just?
The engineers are gonna run it by DEP. They have to make sure their spec is what DEP is gonna
They,
approve.
they stay in touch with DEP.
Yeah.
Because they're involved at.
Well, they're involved to a point, but not really at this stage of the thing. They're not really aware, they know what's going on, but not the point where we're at right now, so they can run it by, but basically speaking, we're open to atmosphere at that point. It's like a standard drain off.
I can tell you DEP will like that plan far better than what's up there now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, well, underground, it's
DEP
too
does
easy
not
for
like
water to back up.
Connections
in.
in chasms that connect and that.
Groundwater, yeah.
That's a cross-connect problem, and there's no check valves in that tank,
Okay,
not like the tank on the hill.
all right.
Save water.
If I had my way, we'd just build an erector tank, a large.
Put a big golf ball up there, it's right next to the golf course, so
Well, that was the other thing I was going to mention on the off base of the
we're
report.
probably gonna have to look for a new tank. It's-
Well, I was talking, we were kind of having a conversation about that too, and I want to start looking at some kind of either standpipe or elevated tank or something, whatever that we want to do, and put it on the property out on the outskirts of the high school, which the town owns, somewhere past Carmignati Field, which is at level of the Bates tank. It would be right down from the Bates tank and would replace the Bates tank. Would keep it more on the town side. Probably run a line right to that from there. But I'm just talking. But it's something we want to work on too, because, you know, we get about 30 years, 25 to 30 years, they think, with that tank, which, you know, at that point, whoever has it, good luck. But all the work they're doing right now, it should be in good shape for a long time, so we can have a little time to figure out how we want to start that. The other thing is the Dresser Hill tank is going to start, it's around September timeframe to October timeframe. A little tight for my budget right now as far as, getting it going. They're still in the same domain as they were with Bates tank. They have no clue what this is going to bring for pressure problems or this and that. I've warned them about certain areas that need pressure, certain areas that can avoid the pressure, blah, blah, blah. We've gone through the same thing, so I'm building up materials now, again, for anticipated breaks and stuff, which I hope we don't get into because my crew has about had it, but, I mean, it is what it is. So we'll be working on that, and then the PRV valves, Stonkus came in today. Why he did today, I didn't ask him. I asked him to come in, make an appointment, but he came in quickly to look at the PRVs all down Dresser Hill, and there's some work that has to be done on one of them. So I told him, well, order whatever parts you need to get in, get them on now, because I need this thing working perfectly for the operation about to happen. Those are a big part of it, the step downs. So he's doing that. So right now, we've got that going. And bacterias are good. We bought a new lawnmower trailer, $2,600, a great deal on that, usually around 30-something, 3,000, that range. And we're gonna put the lawnmowers on that trailer and move the old trailer for the trench box, which we'll keep at the sewer department. So if we need it, we can attach it on a hitch, bring it to a job site. Pretty soon, Department of Labor Standards is gonna be all over us like everybody. They're starting to comb the area now. They'll probably be initially starting with recommendations and warnings or something like that, but then they're gonna get into media. If you don't have a trench box on site, you're gonna get in trouble. And it's all the new requirements coming down the pike.
Haven't anyone on-
We should, but, you know, well, it's sometimes hard too, because we're jammed up in areas and stuff, you know, you do the best you can, but yeah, that's coming down the pike. I am working at quotes for this new dump truck, and I've been in touch with the highway. The ones they're getting are Western Stars, and there's reasons for that, because right now I tried for Mac, and he's not even really entertaining me or calling me back. And the maneuverability on those is a lot better than Mac. They seem to like those brands, so I may be moving over to that kind for us to get something a little bit bigger and more maneuverable, so we can get into tight spots and have the capability. And perfect reason for a truck that's at least a 12-yarder is the one we have now is just about at wit's end with its suspension, like I told you. We were in West Dudley today. We had a major break on a service break in Mill Road and that high pressure side. one of the customers, the driveway was just about flooding out. We actually had to put a meter pit in there because the house is 300 feet off the road. It was iron pipe that was totally annihilated. How it didn't blow completely apart, I don't know why. Took us all day to do it, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because they're going to put so much slop and so much stuff and material back. So it adds about 2 or 3 hours to the day. So that's one of the examples when I want to get something a little bit bigger. We finished the quarterly sampling, perchlorating that. We got off easy this quarter, and we did our halocetic and don't even ask me how to pronounce it. I never have a
HA5s and You check for pollutions, yeah.
Yeah. I keep trying to say I know how to say it, and I don't know how to say it. We also checked in with Caracas over there at that sidewalk thing. All our valves are being checked, and when they checked the valves, people started calling Jen that they're out of water. We thought we had a main break, so we're running guys off this job to run down there. And it turns out they were shutting them down just to check the valves without telling the people in the houses. So I wasn't too happy with that. Then I had gone out to get, when I got materials, I got some risers, tops, and everything, set screw tops, everything needed to properly set things if they need to put the area boxes in the cement, the ones that are affected, make sure they're mounted properly. We'll inspect them.
Are we paying for those, or are they?
They're paying for it.
And for everything.
They're doing all that, that's all. We carry a supply just for ourselves too. So they're not that expensive. They're just tops with some set screws on them. But that's, so we're working with them on that. We also have, I made up, and you'll see it on the next packet. It's just a draft. You guys can destroy it, comment on it, throw it out, whatever you want to do. But I'm set up some guidelines for subdivisions, multifamily housing projects that we require, or what procedures for them to follow that, we do this and that. Just a helpful thing so that they know what we expect of them and to always make sure they keep contact with us, blah, blah, blah. And also guidelines for meter pits for that, because that's a new upcoming thing now, which we put in for people to realize that meter pits are a new thing that we now require. The VEDA system that Jen's been graced with, she's working through it really good, but it's still got a ways to go. And she's working on getting those histories back, which is vitally important.
You haven't got them back yet?
We have a separate app, because everything is app-based when we go in. If you go into payments, it's a different app. So we do have an archive app, which they were able to just pull all the raw data from Point. So I can look back and see usage, I can look back and see billing, but it's just very raw. It's not.
So going forward, you'll get history
Yes.
within
The findings.
Yeah, and we did
Pass it
send
around a little bit. It's just, I brought it here just so you can look at it.
all of our
Okay.
fiscal years back at least 4 years, I believe, to them, and they were gonna see if they could implement it. They were sending it to their programming and seeing if they could bring that in.
Okay.
All right, and a few more things here. Bridge repair at Station 6, we did that last week.
Looks good.
Looks good. It's also very durable. We did Luke and James did a great job. We were stoning in the sides of the bridge to contour with the pipes. I put a new 24-inch congate. We have 2 in there now. I think we're in damn good shape with that bridge now. We should be able, and they're even higher, so they should be able to dissipate a lot of water through that and not disturb the bridge unless we have a massive hurricane. And even that, I have doubts about, but we'll see. Trucks have been going over there steadily with no problem, no sinkage. I added layers of gravel to that, patted it, and so that's been pretty good.
As long as we leave head walls in place. Said as long as we leave head walls in place.
Yeah, exactly. Level 3 drought condition critical we're in right now. Okay, we've taken all the steps, all the advertisements, websites and all that. We also patrol the town as we go do other things, checking on, and we've had some calls on and a few that we've found. Nothing really that's bad. People seem to be understanding it, and they've been doing a good
I know
job.
my neighbors are. They stopped as soon as that warning went out.
Yeah, they already
Stopped
turned you in
water-
anyway, so it doesn't
Stopped
matter.
watering the lawn.
The big one, the Colonel just passing to Scott. This is the Cordis Road project, the analysis we did for the wells down there.
Take it home.
Yeah, take it home for reading and keep you up for a while. That's what the project we did out there.
The part that's important. The rest of it's all data.
That's the project and information on the fourth water source potential at Cordis Road. After reading it and after talking to Jay Billings about it, I'm not happy with it. It's got some limited aquifer, and the return is not that great. It's limited area there, and there's a lot of iron and manganese in there. So we're going to do the Plan B. I've got him redirecting over to where I had looked at that area with Kenny Kevich way back at the rail trail over at down by Carpenter Road and the backside of New Boston Road there, the new developments, Edwards Road and all that stuff. If that works out to some degree, he's going to look at see how the aquifers line up and how if they're influenced like the other stations. But even if so, if that's the case, we would probably have to run a main from a station through that Carpenter Road trail to Carpenter Road where there's no water main, put a water main to Station 6 that way and feed that way.
Run it right down the rail trail.
Right down the rail trail and feed separately, directly over New Boston Road on the opposite side into the station or something to that effect, whatever they.
If you got the good gravel there like you have at Station
Yeah.
6, then that's your
Now, the
first-
only other alternative is, and the only other alternative was a location which I'm not going to mention, but you all know. And we may have to take more steps to that if need be.
So have we identified all the potential aquifer areas that we should protect?
Yeah, well, the ones now is, the one I had is really not, I mean, I've got to protect the ones that are in, I already mentioned them to him, we already went through this with him, to protect at least the runs around Carpenter Road area, are, the ones that we have, and then we were going over towards Cordis, but, I mean, but the other one also was the one I don't want to say.
Did they update the aquifer at the plant?
No, not yet.
That one time here? Yeah.
Nope.
Right, so they were attempting to update it and take some of the areas out
Bill,
of it.
I
They
contacted him.
did update that. That went through, but we're going to have to add.
That has to be added with the planning board and Bill Scanlon. He's already been told by me what I'm looking for.
Right, but that's, when they first did that, I don't like to give up aquifer protection until we make sure we protect everything, because once they take it away, it's hard getting.
How do you get it back? Okay.
That's what I explained to him, that because we're looking at fourth water sources, I need protection in a lot of these and whatever for anything future. So
Sorry to interrupt. The well you're thinking about over by Carpenter and could that possibly feed like New Boston Road?
yeah, well, it would
To come into the treatment plant.
it would come in on Carpenter up to New Boston Road, and it would probably have to be a separate main for feed for raw water into the station for treatment, and then we'd have to. It would pipe up the other way or something, or whatever.
Yeah. That's still.
It'd be
Like we're doing now.
It'd be regulated with stations. I wouldn't have every one of them on. I'd have like certain stations on. So if one breaks, I have another, that kind of thing. We're way below our redundancy. We need another source of water.
Okay.
And storage too. We're both, but I can, we're trying to get the system back in operation that we have, so.
Yep.
So far, so good. So we got that there. The guys are coming tomorrow to start the booster station roof that's deteriorating and getting water into it, and it's getting ruined, so they're gonna be working on that to get that.
Oh,
shored up.
on Tanyard?
Yeah, Chris is coming up to do that. We got, the sewer department furnace and our furnace and tank all have to be replaced this year. They're all gone, pretty much done. And I said that before, so that's coming up too.
Okay.
So on the sewer side, new pump at Brentwood Drive, the pump went. It's an expensive pump. It's the only design pump for that station with the VFD controls and all the, and it can only have one pump put back in there, the same one we took out. Otherwise, you're replacing a whole mess of stuff. Costs you double the money. I hope it gets here quick, because if the other one goes, then we're in big trouble. So we're down to one pump there. So far, so good, but that's the way, that's what it's at now. They assisted.
Any idea on delivery time?
No, but I'm worried because of the
Did they
parts
say-
problems.
Did they say anything?
They're gonna push it as fast as they can, because, we're in desperate time right now with that like that. So.
Get on them, see if you can get a
Yeah.
delivery time.
Cameras, we assisted the highway with cameraing up the bathhouse there. They had a plug in there and stuff. We used the jetter and the camera, And it seems like the problem is just it's somewhere below the floor drains over there, so they're gonna take it from there. And they appreciated that. The quotes for the rail system are in. 2 quotes came in. The other people didn't want anything to do with it. One was around $3,000 and one was around $5,000, something like that. I'm gonna go with the $3,000.
That's for
Yeah, Eisenhower.
Eisenhower?
Yeah, and that'll end that whole debacle over there. And once the town accepts the road, then I'll come before the board and ask if they want to accept the station, as long as they accept the road for the town. At that point, we monitor it every Thursday. We don't do a whole lot except what an alarm answer, see how it's doing. New pumps are in there already. It already meets our specs for level to get there for service. It's not bad. It's a deep well. It's like 8 feet deep. It's a deep well. But from now on, we don't do this on subdivision or anything. It's
No question about the rails to pull the pump?
Yep.
Is that all set?
No, that's what's
That's
going
what
to
he
be put
said.
in.
That's the $3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
As you remember, this was one of the issues we had with Mr. Haney on this.
Selling everything and moving from what I
Yeah, yeah. And we also started work on the asset management program with Ty and Bond, and started beginning that thing on the sewer end of things, and that's kind of it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I had a conversation with one of those property owners up on the, up in the Alton Drive area, and he said the backside of his yard hasn't been this dry in at least 5 years.
Well, it's hard to judge because we're in the most severe drought we've had. in
No, but
5 years,
this
too,
was,
so-
this was before, this was a month ago,
I know.
almost a month ago, I had a conversation with the guy. I ran into him somewhere here, at the
It's been
grocery
2
store.
years.
At the grocery store.
At least 2 years up there leaking it.
And he said that, yeah, the backside of his yard's been wet nonstop for quite a while.
It's evident that tank has been leaking on the bottom from what they found now that they were in there, that the divers couldn't see. The joints are cracked, the overflow pipe was just about falling off. All water was getting through that. So obviously, it's been going for quite a while and filling up.
Okay, so that's the superintendent's report. Next meeting. It's not on the agenda, but we didn't discuss it last time, and I know 2 weeks from tonight, I won't be here. My company is having their employee appreciation event up in Westford, so.
Sneakers in?
Hey, Mr. Chair.
Kimball's?
Kimball's, Kimball's.
Yeah.
Open,
Your sneakers in.
all kinds of free food, open ice cream bar, open bar, everything.
Mr. Chairman, you just remind me of something I didn't have on. They have in the annual clam bake up at Wachusett. You guys, if you want tickets, we can arrange to get you tickets if you want to go. It's the 25th of August or something there.
Yes.
25th of this month.
Yeah, I'm sure Bob's going. The crew's all gonna go, except for me, but they deserve it. They have a good time. You learn a lot of stuff up there, and a lot of good presentations. And a lot
That's
of
the same thing we went to
demonstrations.
last year?
Yeah. You get a choice of chicken and lobster and a steak, I think. I think there's 3 choices this year. Yeah. So, but we gotta know like pronto.
I think you probably need to know by the 5th.
Yes.
Okay, all right, board member comments?
So when is your next meeting?
Oh, next meeting, yes. Do we want to have another meeting this month, or do we want to just hold off until
I would
the
hold off
September
till the
meeting?
September.
Hold off till the September meeting?
And just reminding you, I will not be here at the September meeting.
Great. Jesus Christ.
At some point, you got to run out of vacation time. I'm just saying.
what
You
I
got
keep
so
saying,
much of it.
And I will
At
be,
least you're in tomorrow.
so far.
No, okay, so but as far as policies, you're putting something together for subdivisions?
Yes.
I think that'd be a good thing to,
Is that a policy or are you putting standard specs in?
Standard guidelines,
Specs, I think that would be a good,
it's just a guideline to go over certain things, to tear it apart and add and delete or
there's a lot
whatever.
of policy that came up.
It's to help contractors and stuff to know what we are looking for.
And I did what you asked,
All
advised.
all the
Is
products you
everyone
won't
on
use.
the
Certainly, yeah, things like that, to cover the bed covers,
Yeah, so there's a lot of, that, you don't need to recreate the wheel.
No,
There's
that's
a
what
lot
it
of
is.
that already in
Yeah.
in
There was
place.
something were discussing earlier, like in the last 2 weeks, and I said something about a policy for it. It was while I was driving, so I didn't write it down.
We still got one meter pit, not meter pit, a meter.
Yeah, we did say we want to do
Yeah.
one for meter pits, and
I got that kind of set up too, but
that's, you'll have the specs in your standard specs, but you need a policy saying that anything over 100.
yeah, we don't have any fine structure for the droughts and stuff, that we never had an effect.
Oh, yes, that's what it was. As what are we?
Violation.
Okay, so we have a water ban. What teeth is there in that, and what can we do if we choose to do anything about it at all? What teeth do we have? What fines can we levy, et cetera?
Up to 300.
That's what it was.
Aren't we following, it's not our personal water ban, we're
Right, this
following
is the state, yeah.
regulations?
But how do
state
we
mandated.
enforce it?
Right, so I think
Does the state have any teeth?
you can fine up to $300, and then if they don't pay it, you can shut them off, or if they keep violating, just turn their water service off.
That's the biggest teeth right there when you shut somebody
Yeah,
off.
because, and I can tell you
That's in the state.
well, that's our policy, if it's our policy to shut them off if they don't follow the rules.
I
But
think we give them one warning, and then next time we hit them with a $300 fine. and-
Well, the
A
problem
warning,
comes in-
fine, and then shut off.
Problem comes in, if people paying thousands of dollars in their grass, keeping up, and they'd rather pay the $300 fine and violate it than,
But
you know what I'm saying?
But-
$300 fine first time, it happens again, we shut it off.
But that has to be,
Yeah,
needs to
you
be
gotta
written
that has
work
to
on
be
it.
spelled
Usually
out.
the towns are like 50 and then 100 and then a 3 or something like that, but
Yeah.
that's other towns.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Coming up to Dudley, the guy who
We
just
give them the warning first, no charge,
had his sprinklers going.
$300.
well, does he have could be a well too, who knows? But yeah, okay,
Yeah, but
I don't think
we're in
that
tough
makes a
shape with
difference.
wells.
okay, so any other,
Mr. Chairman, Colonel had a
oh,
question.
yeah.
I don't think the fact that that you have a well, that it makes it.
If you have a personal well, we have no
We have no
We have no
jurisdiction.
authority over it.
jurisdiction or authority over that.
I thought the state banned.
No.
The state did, it includes personal
State
wells
ban-
as
the
well.
state ban
But-
includes-
But that's not, we can't
Does, but we
enforce
don't
it.
have the
Yeah,
authority.
It's not something we can enforce. Like my brother has a sprinkler system at his house.
It's off
He's
his
on,
well.
he has a well.
He
I mean,
just-
if he chooses to
jeopard-
water his lawn,
He jeopardizes, I heard a story of a lady down in Thompson her well went dry, submersible, couldn't get a fracking company in there for 2 or 3 weeks. She bought a trailer truck full of water to dump down the casing to try to recharge and get it through till they can get there to frack, to open it up.
I would have bought a booster pump, hooked the trailer up to the house, instead of dumping it on the ground.
okay, any other board member comments?
Where do we stand on the paving of Mason Road?
Oh, yes, email just came out today. They are going to start milling soon, very soon. It could be by the end of the week,
That's highways portion, though.
the highway portion. Highway has added on a section beyond June Street that they are responsible for paying for. But once they come down to mill, they're gonna mill the whole road. Evidently Caracas has given clearance to,
To start?
mill.
Because his concrete, his
This-
berms are cemented in. The granite's cemented in, so you can pave up to it now.
Yeah, the concrete curbs are done, so.
Question is it gonna cost us any more now to pave than what it did when we should have paved?
When I asked that question today, and he said that the numbers come from the state, the numbers for August won't be known until the first week of September. So after the project is done, they'll be able to set the price. And they'll also be able to set the price based on a May pave, which was what was originally planned. And then it's up to us to deal with what we want to do.
At the rate petroleum
With the
prices
change.
going up, you'd think that
But do we have an agreement with the town
gotta be
to
up.
pay the difference if there is one?
No,
That was spoken in a meeting, though.
it's been, we've been speaking about it right along.
I mean, that was said in the meeting when they started that whole sidewalk conversation.
Right, it was mentioned here.
Town administrator told me he has the grant money to finish that, whatever their portion has to be, or whatever they have to do.
Okay, so, yeah, it's something we can discuss. I mean, if it's $100 difference, it may not be
Yeah.
worth, but if it's,
5,000, then.
yeah, if it's, we'll see. We'll see what the numbers look like and then determine from there what's the best way to go. That's right, that was something that he had mentioned. Okay, anything else?
One other thing that was mentioned today was the Barbado change orders.
Barbado change orders.
Wasn't there one in the email from Jeff today?
I didn't even get a chance to look at it. I know there was some,
Barbados, there was no change orders.
There's not on that one, but I think they're requesting one, right?
I didn't see anything.
we did the one for the pressure
The PRV that ended up not being used.
discs and all that stuff, but I don't know if they had any.
There was nothing else other than that that I know of.
How about your contractor starting on your piping job?
Oh, they're already in there today. Did you want to say something?
Oh, no, you're talking about,
Plumbing.
No,
Maybe I looked at an old one.
no, that's, yeah,
Oh, no,
that
no.
won't start till April of 2023.
That's next spring, that's springtime, so.
Yeah, it was,
We just bid at this price.
Right. Yes, the change order that we approved last month for the Station 1 project for the sump pump piping. As I understood it, it was $32,000 or so, and that was to trench the floor, run a pipe, put a grinder pump in, all of this kind of stuff to get it into the sewer main. I stopped in there yesterday, and what I see is a copper pipe running up the wall in the main area there, over George's head, over the garage where the generator is, past the bathroom, down the wall, and into a hole. It's going to go out through the foundation to the thing. So what? And I mentioned this to our engineer. What I saw was, and I'll be very generous, $1,000 worth of copper pipe.
That pipe's been there for 6 months.
Part of it, the other part they ran through
I remember
down.
there was a pipe going over.
Yeah,
here.
that was just, it stopped. They stopped.
So
when
$1,000 worth of copper pipe, and I'm being generous, 2 guys for 2 days. I look at it and I say, well, it's all straight and it's all just pieces of copper pipe put together. I could probably do that in 2 days myself, and I'm not a plumber. So I'm sure that took them a day to do all of that. I don't see where it costs $32,000.
But they're not done with it.
I know they've got some excavation.
Yeah.
I know they've done some excavation. It doesn't look like it's
They were
what we.
supposed to come into the building with a new sewer main for that,
with
and put a vent up through the roof and everything.
That's not what's there.
say, wasn't that the whole thing? He was wanting to bring it up to plumbing code?
Bring some of it up to code, because even like Jeff says, we're not signing off on a building that they can't have it come back on them as engineers.
Right,
You
but
know? It can't be done, Scott. It can't be anywhere near done. There's gonna be a lot more going on.
Bankers came in
I'm
the other
telling you, the
day.
copper pipe's all in, and they've got a hole dug in the floor inside the building, and a hole
Have to go
outside the
back.
building, and neither one of the 2 holes are as big as the space in here. They're very small holes, not very deep. I don't see, with the excavation and everything else, I don't see $30,000 worth of work having been done there. And in all of that,
it was today.
the words that were said to me were, well, ask the plumbing inspector, because he's the one that told them what to do.
Yeah, and we had drawings on that, coming into the building with cast iron, a connection, going up to the roof with a vent.
You should check it out, Jake. See what
Pop in there.
Okay, that's not what's there.
Because they're not doing what they told us they're doing.
So, and now, if that pipe is that long, coming off the sump pump, unless there's an auxiliary pump down there, that sump pump's gonna have to work extra hard. I hope they've got some kind of a slope in that pipe
That's not-
running through the ceiling, so that the water, a pitch to get
order
it
from
to
plumbing.
Should
run,
be pitch, yeah.
to run across the building. Otherwise, that water's just gonna keep flowing back into the pipe.
Yeah,
Check valve.
Yeah, they'd have to be check
I
valves.
don't know what John's signing and not.
Okay, so, I just,
Typically, I had good luck with those guys when they started working there, when the water heater and all.
I've had concern right along about this project, this part of this. I just wanted it brought up, so it's on the record. But it doesn't look like $32,000 worth of work. So we'll have to see what.
There is the request from Barbado for a change order.
There is, for,
Came in today. So attached is change order number 1 for temporary PFAS for signature. It's got the underground concrete pad removal, the rupture disc and spare, concrete removal
We
for
already-
electrical conduit, and substantial and final completion extension.
They did the disc because of all the issues we had, so that was done by them. And the pad, yeah, we know about the pad.
It came in from
But
Heidi.
who approved the extension?
Extension,
It says
I didn't
substantial
get
and
it.
final completion extension.
You're,
He's not on the
oh,
list.
you're not.
it says Cassandra, I got one from Cassandra LaRochelle for Mason Road paving,
From Heidi Baird.
and I've got one that's from Sewer Water for the Mitchell Property Testing Report, which I believe is that, right?
yeah.
Okay,
You have that one.
okay, that's all I have.
So I had 2 issues with this. First,
Oh.
that you guys weren't
Temporary PFAS treatment.
included.
Okay, so it's, we haven't seen anything. They're asking for a change order after the job's all done?
Well, this is part of this change. I mean, I think they discussed the concrete pad, and we discussed the rupture disc, which I was against.
That's already been approved, though.
Right, so they're looking for a signature, but when I went through this, it also said, so the change orders were, one was the underground concrete pad removal for $830.44.
530, yeah.
530, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The rupture disc and
Distance.
spare for $1854, which you agreed to. The concrete removal for electrical conduit of $287.60.
I don't remember that, but,
And then there's item number I4, which was time extension. So
NA. So there is no value.
no
attached.
cost, but as I said when you guys approved the spare rupture disc, we should not be extending them time to complete
That's correct.
if we're paying for a rupture disc so that they can finish on time, because we didn't want to wait for the
They
parts.
delayed and it caused
Oh,
us
so
other
they're adding a
problems.
time
Yeah.
extension into the.
So they also say that we approved a time extension, which
We never did.
I don't
approve a time
remember ever
extension.
seeing.
No, we never approved any time. Matter of fact, that was the problem with
Point
it.
blank to their face, I'll get the material.
I did. I was in the meeting. I said,
Yeah.
what do you need? I can
I'll
get you the
it. I'll get it
material.
here tomorrow.
And
Keep going.
so they claim that they reached out to other vendors and couldn't get it. And we all know that they didn't reach out to other vendors, because when I said, I'll get you them, I made a call right in front of them. I said, I can get it for you tomorrow. And they said,
Same
oh,
thing I
well, we
did
don't
with-
want it
Of course,
from
the
your
approval
vendor
is-
because it'll cost
The
us more.
approval is Jonathan Ruda. We gotta make sure that,
He-
okay.
I can tell you it's already been signed and sent back to Jeff. Michelle gave me a copy today.
well,
So I don't
we didn't
ever,
agree to a time extension.
Jeff should be checking in with us on that. He's supposed to be checking us on everything, and that's one of them, and he didn't do it. John does it. He's just thinking
Okay,
it's been approved by the board, probably.
Exactly.
I'm
Not John's
gonna have to, I'll give him a call in the morning.
Give Jeff a call.
I'll give Jeff a call and I'll give,
Okay.
Jonathan a call. I'll give Jeff, if we can get out of here, I'll give Jeff a call.
because I know I beat that to death enough to annoy everybody, so.
Any other board member
How
comments?
can Jeff go through John
Because it's an
He's
SRF
procurement
project.
officer.
Well, actually, no.
Procurement officer.
He's a
so
procurement officer,
without
but
going through us?
I thought that,
That is true. He should have checked with us
It has
first.
to
not
go
an
through
SRF.
us first.
That's not an SRF project. That should have gone through us anyways. Because
always
it's our
sign a
project, it's
voucher.
our project, it's not them.
Yeah, but I mean, the change order, like I said, and I argued to no end on not wanting to pay for the change order for the rupture disc. They claim that the rupture disc was the only thing that was delaying them. Then they say they don't have the other parts, and all the things that they said, I could have got them.
I thought in lieu of the time extension it took them because of the delays, they wrote that off. They took care of that, and we didn't have to worry about that, part of that.
So
No, it was
we
over
eliminated the
2,000.
labor because I said you shouldn't be
labor,
paying for
right.
labor because they can't meet the deadlines.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're looking for,
We paid for parts that ended up not even getting used.
Right, and then they want an extension
Well,
on.
it did get used, but then they had to put the PRV in after.
Right. So
Okay,
I disagree with agreeing to a time extension when
Oh, no.
their claim was, and
Okay.
I point blank asked Jeff.
we'll make some comments.
Is this the only
We'll make some
thing
calls tomorrow morning.
that's holding it up? And if it is, I don't agree with it.
Tomorrow.
Sick 'em.
Okay. Any other board comments?
it's got after mine.
All right. Number 16.
Make
To
a
adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
These meetings are so uplifting.
Okay.
What else can go
Welcome to my
wrong?
world.